Here it is October 11th. Outside in the city of Philadelphia, 55 degrees, getting as high as 66 later on this afternoon. And I just have to tell you, there is so much good energy right now in the building, so much good vibes. Everybody is excited about life. Everybody's excited about the weekend. And I'm not going to lie, I'm excited about it too. Although I have a really, really busy weekend planned. I like to spend my busy time doing the things that I love, and so I would encourage you to do the same. Whether you are chilling, maxing, relaxing, or really truly enjoying your time, or maybe you gotta work, which is cool too. Make sure that you take some time out to just smile. Let it be easy. Let it breathe easy. Take your time. There's no rush, right? Don't be in a hurry. Sometimes we rush all the way to get to Friday just to rush through the weekend, just to hope to wait to get to Monday to rush through the weekend to get to Friday again. And you see where I'm going, right? It's this crazy cycle that we do. And when do we ever enjoy life? When do we ever slow down and not be in a hurry and relax and enjoy? And so, in fact, you can make that choice now. You can make that choice to chill, to max and relax, to cool it, as they used to say back in the day, cool your heels, and take a break, because that's what life is about. It's not just about everything we can accomplish. It's not just about everywhere that we can kind of get going to. It's actually about the journey. And I know there's so many adorable quotes on Instagram and quotes on Google and, Facebook and all of these things that talk about how there is no, kind of focus on the destination, but that the destination is the journey. And yet, people still don't feel that, right? We don't really actually take that into consideration as we're living out our life. We still think, when I wake up in the morning, I can't wait to get back home after work is over. It's like every single thing, we're rushing through it. And the presence, the mindfulness, the connection to today, the ability to actually appreciate what we have, the gratitude, the presence of the moment, this all comes from slowing down. So I want to really, really, really encourage you today as you go through your day to actually take some time to slow down, to relax, to enjoy, as they used to say, to take a look around and see what there is to appreciate. Because whether you are a mega $1,000,000 speaker and going out on stages and you're rushing on stage to do your presentation so you can rush off of it to go fly on a jet to go somewhere else, or you are just picking up your kids and you're rushing to wake them up so you can rush and take them to work and then rush and pick them back up when you get off, we all have the opportunity to take it all in, right? To really see what our life is about, to really see what it is we've created, and to really, really, truly kind of appreciate it and to make time and space for that. So I want to encourage you to do that today and just find one way, If you feel yourself rushing as you're going about your daily business, stop. Just be like, oh my God, Helena was telling me this morning. Yes, I did. And I'm telling you again, slow your roll. Stop and slow down and be like, you know what? I'm rushing through this traffic. I'm going to get there when I'm supposed to get there. Right? And breathe and turn on some good music and smile at somebody in another car and just, flow with it. Right? Maybe you are at a meeting or you're at work and you're rushing from this meeting to that meeting to this meeting, and slow your steps down. Maybe even count your steps as you walk from your front door to your car or from the front door to the train or the trolley. All types of ways that you can slow yourself down. And one of the biggest things that I notice in my work is that a lot of times when we feel the most stress, it's because our brain and our body are moving on different paces. So we have these moments where our brain is going 8 million miles an hour and our body is like, when can we go back to bed? Right? And that makes kind of for this stress. Or we have these moments when our body is like, fume, 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 fume. And our brain is like, what was that again? I forgot. It's so true. So you have to take the time to slow down and really bring your body and your mind together in a way that allows you to be cohesive and that allows you to let some of that stress go that you're actually creating as you continue to rush. So I know it's Friday and this might be a Monday message, but I'm going to give it to you every single day because you can always slow down. And I really, really, really want you to take your time as you go into the weekend. Spend the time with the people that you love. Take care to spend the time with the people that love you. Take care to have a nice slow breakfast. Go to dinner, right? Go for a walk. Enjoy some of this fall weather as it's transitioning. But find a way today to celebrate the slowing down. Maybe you throw something in the crock pot and you slow cook it. I don't care what you got to do. But slow it down so that you don't miss anything. All right? Are you into that? You like that? Is that true? Can you do that for me? All right. Thank you. Thank you very, 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 very much. So I'm really excited because today I have someone here in the building who I don't know if you know yet, but once you get to know her, you're going to really, really love what she's doing and the work that she's doing here in the community. I want to welcome Cha-Cha Hudson, who is an international fashion designer and an educator and philanthropist, to the show. Cha-Cha, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming in. So obviously, I'm familiar with your work, but I want to give the listeners an opportunity to get familiar as well. So could you tell us a little bit about what it is that you do, and not so much like what it is that you do as though that's the end point, but kind of like how you got there, you know, and a little bit about your story.
Yeah, sure. So I am a fashion design professor at the University of Delaware, but I'm also the owner and educator at the Social Cafe, which is a creative co-working space for female entrepreneurs who are looking to build their brands, build their businesses, and also collaborate with other female entrepreneurs. So it actually took me a while to get to this space because I was originally a fashion designer. So I had my own clothing line. It was called Ace Blakely, plus size clothing line. And I did that for a long time. And when I was in college, I wanted to teach. So I taught with a company called Art on Mind, which was a nonprofit. But later on down the line, when I was working on my line, I was like, I really want to show people how to do this, because a lot of people want to become fashion designers, but they don't know how to get to that point, especially if they've never had formal training, they didn't go to a university, they didn't really hone in on the skill. And a lot of people that I met, they actually want to be fashion designers, but they've always wanted to be fashion designers. But a lot of people told them originally you have to get a real job or you can't really make that a career. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I can show people that it's possible to have a career in fashion and actually thrive. So I had a studio space a few years ago, and at my studio space, it was in the Kensington section of Philadelphia. I was teaching people how to sew, and then I was like, I want to teach in academia. This is what I want to do. So I just put a post on Facebook and was like, does anybody know how I can get into academia? So I had a lot of people comment, even some of my professors from school, and it was like, you need to have a PhD. At this time, I only had my bachelor's degree. So they're like, you need to get your PhD or you need your MFA. You need a terminal degree to be able to work in these universities. So I don't know, the type of person that I am.
You was like, nah.
No, I feel like I don't need my PhD to be able to share the information that I know. So what I did was I got a notification from the University of Delaware saying that they needed someone with their PhD to teach these new classes that were coming out. And I reached out to them. The notification was maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. I sent it actually when I got it. So I sent over my resume. I got a call the very next day to set up an interview, even though I didn't have my PhD. I didn't have my master's degree. I set up the interview. We had the interview the following day.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was through like video. It was like a video chat interview. Which was pretty cool. And I talked to Dr. Haishin Kim, and she was like, you would be a great candidate for our master's program. So you can get into our master's program. We'll give you a full scholarship. You can also teach at the same time. Wow. So for the past 2 years, I've been working at the University of Delaware, got my master's degree this past May, and yeah. It's been like that. Also, I was working at Moore College of Art and Design, so I work in their continuing education department teaching fashion. So that has been really cool too. But this experience working in academia, also running the Social Cafe, has been like amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Yeah. You said so many things that I want to pull out and just like bring back around. Sure. From your story, because I think a lot of people get really intimidated by these qualification lists, whether you want to go into academia or you're just looking for any type of job, or even
that's more
any
a suggestion list.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And so I love that you were like, nah, I'm just going to apply for it anyway.
Exactly.
I think so many of us could really benefit from that tenacity and from that kind of like risk taking, because it is a bit of a risk to kind of put your stuff together and be like, I'm going to submit for this grant, I'm going to submit for this job, or I'm going to submit for this trip or this opportunity. even though technically it says I don't meet the qualifications, I know I can do this.
Right.
And I think that shows such a beautiful elegance and such a resilience that maybe you didn't realize you were practicing at the moment, but many of us can really learn to kind of take more chances in that way and not be so afraid of the rejection, afraid of them maybe saying no.
What's the worst that can happen, really?
Mm-hmm.
You're submitting a resume online. They don't even see you. what's the worst that can really happen? So
it's really true.
That's just the mindset that I've been in. It's like, okay, well, a PhD, yes. So in order for me to get my PhD, I would probably have to go back for about 3 or 4 years, which is not a problem. That's something that I actually want to do. But in the meantime, I feel like having my master's degree, even my bachelor's degree, I feel like anybody can teach somebody something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we all have that ability to teach other people what we know. And I don't think that a degree should stop you from doing that. And that's how I feel.
I agree. I agree so much. So I want to go deeper into the work. We're going to take a really, really quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Cha-Cha Hudson, who is, in fact, an international fashion designer as well as a business owner. And we're going to talk some more about her work and also how you can relate to parts of her story. This is Halana here live on Daybreak. We'll be right back.
PICO presents a special evening of the Living Legacy Jazz Award at the Kimmel Center on Friday, October 11th, celebrating the life and legacy of Charles Tolliver, American jazz trumpeter and composer. Join past awardees featuring a gala reception, award ceremony, and seats for the performance of Marcus Roberts and the Modern Jazz Generation. Visit midatlanticarts.org and click on Living Legacy Jazz Award for more info.
We filmed 15 Pennsylvania kids who were all waiting to be adopted and asked what having a family and permanent home would mean to them.
I want a family just to accept me for who I am, to be there just to support me whenever I'm needing it.
To be matched with a family would be amazing. I won't be in a system all the time.
Visit adoptpakids.org to watch the video, meet the kids, and learn how you can become a foster or adoptive parent.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Listen live at WordRadio.com.
Need a new mattress? Stop by to see Julian, the Mattress Man, located at 7421 Stenton Avenue. You deal directly with the owner, Julian, to ensure the best prices on name brand mattresses like Sealy Posturepedic. Call 215-424-5550. That's 215-424-5550.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless, and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Now back to Daybreak on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live at WordRadio.com.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Halana here, live and in the building with you here on WURD each and every morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. here on Daybreak. Today is currently Friday, October 11th, and we are live and in the building. Outside, 55 degrees, getting as high as 66 later on. I'm getting some emails and messages from folks out there saying, slow down. Yes, I love it. Slowing down is the way to go. So I appreciate you all for always leaning in to these suggestions and leaning into these observations that I share with you, because it really is true. Like, what is there left to enjoy? We have to enjoy our lives. We have to enjoy the decisions that we make. We have to enjoy the people we spend our time with. So, bringing presence of mind to it is really just common sense at this point. So I appreciate y'all for really embracing the kind of slow cooker lifestyle that I'm talking about. I want to welcome back Cha-Cha Hudson, who is our special guest for today. Back to the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we were talking about how you got involved in teaching in academia and what you do currently as being a fashion designer, but there's really even more awesome opportunities that you've been afforded since you started working in academia that you were telling me about over the break.
Yes. So for my thesis, I was doing my thesis originally on plus size clothing and actually changing the techniques that designers use in order to create plus size clothing. So I did continue with that project, but I started working on another project too. And the University of Delaware, they actually gave me a grant to go over to Ghana this past summer, which was amazing. I was able to teach at 2 different schools, fashion schools, MBA Mode, and also Chartres Fashion Institute, and it was amazing. Like, the experience was great. The students were awesome. It was my first time in Africa, and I couldn't have asked for a better experience, honestly.
That is incredible to think that applying for a job that you technically weren't qualified for, that you got interviewed within 24 hours, that you ended up securing, that you've been working out for 2 years, that also got you a master's degree, that then has now sent you to Ghana. Like, what?
But that's not even the end of it. Like, the opportunities that I was afforded at the University of Delaware were spectacular. I was part of a hen hatch competition last year where I won $1,000 for my business, The Social Cafe. This year, I was actually a finalist. Okay, let me backtrack. When I got the $1,000, I used that money, my savings, also investments from our founding members who decided, I love this idea, I love this concept, I'll put up my membership money first before you open your doors. That's how we got the doors open. And last Saturday would make a year that we've been open. In the spring, I received $8,400 from the hen hatch competition. It's a pitch competition, and that's through the University of Delaware. So it's been back to back to back blessings.
Wow.
From the University of Delaware, and just from being persistent, and also being eager. Like, a lot of people don't take advantage of the opportunities that they have. With the grant that I received from the University of Delaware to go to Africa, they asked me to write a 500-word essay on why I wanted to go to Ghana and teach. 500 words, and it wasn't that many people who applied. So it's just like,
wow.
There are opportunities out here. You just have to do it.
Yes.
You have to apply yourself. And I don't know if it was fear that stopped people from actually applying, but the opportunities are here. Why not take advantage of them?
I couldn't agree with you more, and I think that is a bit of an entrepreneurial spirit, it seems, like taking advantage of the opportunities that are right in front of you, networking with people, opening conversations, because you never know what doors may open as a result of those conversations.
Absolutely.
And so let's talk a little bit about your business so that folks can get an idea of exactly what the Social Cafe is and what it does, and kind of the little catch there that they may not notice if they say the word social.
Oh, yeah, social is spelled S-E-W, if everybody doesn't know. So the Social Cafe is my baby. It's a creative co-working space for female fashion designers, also crafters, people who are looking to create with their hands and make some extra money doing that. So it's a sisterhood. It's a community of women who didn't know that they needed each other. And I had this conversation the other day with someone else where when we get older, we think we don't need any more friends. I have the friends that I have, and that's it. I have my friends from high school. I have my friends from college, friends that I grew up with. Meeting these women, it's like, how did I get to this place without you? Like, it's that type of sisterhood bond. Like, some people would even maybe think of it like a sorority. Like, it's that tight-knit, and these women keep each other accountable. They're positive. They're always going to, help you out when you're in the space. Sometimes I'm not there to actually help people, but there's always going to be someone there that can help you out with your project. If you're getting frustrated, you need to brainstorm, things like that. That's what the women are there for. And I'm so appreciative and happy to have this great group of women there with me. So.
I am truly astounded by like the kind of ripple effect of your baby, of your idea. When I thought about the social cafe, and I think when you think about it, you're like, oh, okay, it sounds like a fun place to hang out. But then when you're like, oh, it's social, like SEWCIAL, like to sew, like to make clothes, you're like, oh, okay, so this is a place where like people come and sew together. Right. And then now as you're explaining even deeper how the relationships have been built and how much more bonding has occurred over like a mutual love for creating clothing and becoming, you know, fashion designers and working with materials and also building relationships, you know, I can see how meaningful that work is to you. What would you say has been the number one reason why you felt like you needed to create an actual like co-working space for female entrepreneurs in the fashion industry?
Because there's not many. A lot of the co-working spaces are geared towards people, especially the creative co-working spaces. The creative co-working spaces are usually geared towards people who do metalsmithing or woodworking, things like that, not necessarily fashion. If you want fashion classes, you have to usually go to a fashion school. So I wanted to give people an alternative. People come to the social cafe for a few different reasons. So there are some people that just come to socialize. We have something called sip and sews. You come in, you have wine, you have hors d'oeuvres. Within 3 to 4 hours, you're making a complete garment, and you're happy with that. So,
I love that.
Yeah, so a lot of people come for those because they can have a birthday party, bachelorette party. They can, you know, have a bridal shower, things like that, where everybody's making something and they have something that's complete by the time they leave. But then there's also people who are coming like, I needed an extra source of income. I need to rent a space. I need to rent a sewing machine. I need to be here and I need to create my dreams. So there are those two dynamics there where you can come to have fun, but you can also come to do business.
Work. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're working on a few different things right now where you can actually sell your goods. What is the next thing that we're doing? Next thing we're doing is Small Business Saturday, so November 30th. So if you're a vendor or a fashion designer, jewelry maker, anything like that, you can contact me and you can be a part of our mall that we're doing for a Small Business Saturday, November 30th. This Sunday, we're actually a part of POST, which is the Philadelphia Open Studio Tours. We're located in the Macon North building at 3525 I Street in Philadelphia. So if you want to stop past just to talk or just to see the space, we have a 2,600 square foot space, large windows. It's a clean area for you to work. So if you want to pop in, we also have an open sew. You can come, you can bring your goods, you can bring your fabrics and your notions. We have sewing machines there. I would love for you to come and sew with us.
I love that. I'm going to come and sew with you.
You should.
I don't know how to sew. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how to sew.
It's okay. Somebody will help you out while you're there. I'll help you out while you're there.
I love that. That sounds so incredible and so fun. Can you give us the address again for folks that missed that?
Yeah, sure. We're located in Macon Studios North. The address is 3525 I Street, Suite 213.
And that's I as in E-Y-E or the letter I?
Oh, the letter I. I'm sorry.
I Street. Okay, cool. And your next event is this Sunday.
This Sunday.
Where you can come.
Yep, we're part of the Philadelphia Open Studio Tour. So you can tour the space from 12 o'clock to 6 p.m. And if you're looking to do the open sew, you can come at 11 o'clock a.m. until 6 p.m.
That's incredible. And November 30th, you said that you have an actual experience happening at the space?
Yep. We're having Small Business Saturday. We did it last year. It was a success. So if you have any goods that you want to sell, anything that's handmade, preferably, just contact me and we can get connected. You can sell your wares there and it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, and that's like right in time for the whole Christmas
right in time for the
shopping
holiday
experience. Yeah, so people can get an opportunity to buy from local artisans, which I think it really actually does matter. I have to ask you too, like, do you have kind of, kind of thoughts about the importance of supporting local entrepreneurs with our dollars, and has this informed creating the event on November 30th, or even just creating the kind of things coming down the pike at the social cafe, like making sure that folks who are not in entrepreneurship or who don't want to learn how to sew can actually support folks who are making things, and we can kind of keep the money circulating in our community?
I think that's definitely important. That's one of the reasons why I'm in business right now. because especially you said that it's coming around the holiday season. People are buying gifts.
Spending so much money.
Spending a lot of money, but the first thing that they do is go onto Amazon. You're going into Amazon and you're not going to malls. You're not going to your local artisans. You're not contacting that friend who sells this or sells that. You're going straight to Amazon and you're just buying your things there. One, because it's probably cheap. And then the other thing is you get your free delivery. So that's what everybody is really excited about. But just remember, a lot of people are buying cheap things. And when you buy cheap things, you get cheap quality. So support your local artisans because you're getting quality product. You're getting quality product. You're helping local families. You have to be able to reach out to your community, and you're helping your community by working with the local designers or the local crafters. They're here. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of us here. And, you know, they're looking for support. They have great products. You just have to look around for them. So if anybody is looking for anything in particular, you can contact me. I know a lot of people who are making handmade soaps and handmade lotions and clothing and jewelry and even shoes. Like, there are people out here and they're doing their thing and they're creating, and they just need the support of the community.
Yes, yes. I really couldn't agree more. And I think, you know, reminding everyone as we even go into the weekend, even this is the weekend, you know, people start doing the pre-sale shops and, you know, all of that type of stuff is kind of getting started around October, November. And the truth is, you know, there is a lot of buying power that we have.
Yes.
And we do make a choice about how we spend and invest our time and also our money. And sometimes we forget, like we just go into automatic mode where we're like, oh, well, let me just get online and buy this, and let me check this on this and that, etc. Which there are local people who are selling their you know, goods online, of course. But you're absolutely right. Those relationships that you build when you know the person who makes your soap,
right?
When you know the person who makes your hair care products, when you know you can, you know, if you have an issue, you can complain directly and you can get that resolved. You know, if you have an idea, they may actually make something special based off of something you know. There's so much like that happens in that exchange, and it's like creative. And I think for people who may not necessarily want to get into that space, but has, you know, really cool ideas or, you know, has opportunities to kind of exchange, the impact of buying local, the impact of supporting local, and the impact on you of feeling good about that is actually something you can't replace.
And when you said something about complaining, that actually it made me think of something, because I know a lot of people who have tried buying local, and instead of not necessarily complaining, but letting that person know that they weren't satisfied with the product, they just stopped buying from that person.
Oh, interesting.
So if you have any issues with your local artisan, or
speak up,
say something, because they can only get better from you saying something. Don't worry about hurting their feelings. They're going to get better because you were able to express to them, I'm not happy with this, I'm not happy with that, because better believe it's other people that's not happy with this and happy with that are also not saying anything. So this person is not growing, they're not getting better, they're not making more money because they're losing their clients and they don't know why. So express to them, hey, I would really like it if you did this instead of this, or, you know, whatever it is. Don't be scared to do that, because you're not doing anything but hurting them by not saying anything. So
I love that reminder, because even as we zoom out a little bit from the business conversation, that's a great advice just for life.
Right, right.
A lot of times we might be in a relationship with someone, or we may have like a working experience, or we may have, you know, an experience in our relationships with our family, whatever the case may be, and something may happen. We have an issue with it. We just clam up. We don't speak up, right? And then we're like, well, I'm not talking to that person anymore.
Right.
Or I'm not bringing up that subject anymore.
And that's what happens.
Right?
But the artisan also has to ask for feedback. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback, because you can only get better by understanding your business more and learning what your customer wants.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love your reminder about speaking up and speaking out, because as folks are getting more entrepreneurial and getting into business, or even expanding the current businesses that they have, because many of my listeners do have businesses. They may work 9 to 5s, but they also have entrepreneurial endeavors they do after work, or on the weekends, or projects they're working on long term where they maybe want to transition out of their 9 to 5 and go full-time entrepreneurship, but they're kind of, taking their time, saving up their money, working on the product development, kind of getting things started, and a lot of times people suggest, like, okay, whatever your current income is, like, replace that with your business and then kind of transition out. So that's a strategy a lot of people use. They forget that it really starts with the relationships.
Yeah.
Everybody that is somebody that can help you build your business better, whether that's they want to be a client, or they want to give you feedback, or you want to do a test round, or you want to do, kind of let them try it, or you want to give away mini sample freebies. I mean, there's so many ways to build your business. And I really want to remind folks that, as Chacha and I are having this conversation, really think about, if you are in business, how can you build and expand and deepen your relationships currently? And if you're not in business, how can you support and deepen and expand and build your relationships? I even had somebody reach out to me yesterday that was like, oh, I forgot that you do workshops, with entrepreneurs around wellness and self-care. I have this event coming up. Can I bring you out? And I said, yes, you can bring me out. Sometimes you forget, like, the resources are right here. And then she was like, oh, well, I got to get a caterer. And I was like, oh, I do vegan catering,
right.
Sometimes. And she was like, oh, well, if I could get both in one stop, I'm going to set it up, And I was like laughing to myself because she forgot. I forgot to mention it, all of these
right.
different things. So sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. If you don't ask people what they can do, if you're not aware of what is right here in your network,
exactly.
you miss out on these amazing experiences and relationships. So do you have time to stick around after the break?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. So I want to continue the conversation with Chacha to talk a little bit more about some suggestions that she has for everybody listening as to how you can actually get started with a new idea, or even kind of expand a current existing idea that you have. Again, whether you're in entrepreneurship or you're looking to support the entrepreneurs in our community. This is Halana here live on Daybreak. We're going to take a really quick break. We'll be right back.
The following alert is from AARP Pennsylvania. Attention listeners, con artists posing as Federal Trade Commission workers are calling people about the Do Not Call registry. They may ask you to enroll, confirm, or renew your phone number on the registry. They're collecting personal information such as your social security number, which the real registry does not require, so they can access your bank account. Learn more about AARP and what they're doing to protect consumers right here in Philadelphia. Visit aarp.org/Philadelphia.
Support independent black media and join the 4Word movement now at 215-425-7875 or visit wordradio.com.
Join me, Solomon Jones, and the Rally for Justice Coalition for our next demonstration. We're going to be at City Hall in the courtyard October 11th at 12 noon, pushing 3 demands on the police contract and pushing for City Council to work with us to get it done. No budget gets approved until we get our demands. We need you October 11th with the Rally for Justice Coalition. For more information, go to WURDradio.com. Let's rally for justice and let's make a difference together.
Listen to Laborers Live.
We created the weekend. We created the 40-hour work week. We just want enough to feed our family, be able to send our children to college, and let our next generation do better than we did.
To people that might have forgot how important unionism is in a country like the United States. People now infringing on our 8-hour workday, kind of work people more than 8 hours without overtime, kind of work people without benefits. In the long run, everybody's getting a fat paycheck except the worker. So this is really a wake-up call for America.
The struggle is continuous. Tune in to Laborers Live every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Sponsored by LESIT, the Laborers Employers Cooperation Education Trust of the Laborers District Council of Philadelphia and vicinity.
Local 332, Sam Staten Jr. Business Manager. Local 57, Esteban Vera Business Manager. Local 135, Dan Woodall Jr. Business Manager. Local 413, James Harper Jr. Business Manager. The Laborers District Council, Ryan Boyer Business Manager, and Tony Staten, Executive Director of LESIT.
Now, a traffic update on Word Radio.
Good morning. This report sponsored by Mattress Warehouse Philadelphia. Jam ride in New Jersey, 295 southbound. You're jammed up between 541 Mount Holly and Mount Holly Willingboro. Is an accident involving a tractor trailer and a dump truck. 42 northbound, 55 to 295 busy. 55 north jamming Deptford in the 42. Southbound 95 Cotman down through Girard jam there. Schuylkill westbound, City out to Gladwin, heavy eastbound delays Montgomery through Spring Garden. The Boulevard Route 1 southbound Broad down through Fox. A bit busy there as you move on this morning.
Not every mattress is right for every body. Don't get frustrated. Get bed matched and find the right mattress. Only at Mattress Warehouse. Buying at Mattress Warehouse means you have a 1-year price guarantee. Find a better price? They'll match it, plus 50% of the difference. Visit sleephappens.com.
For more traffic information, log on to sigalert.com. I'm Jim Bachman with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Now back to Daybreak on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live at wordradio.com.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Halana here, live and in the building with you each and every single morning, Monday through Friday. And we are so blessed and honored to be here because, A, it is Friday, and we are celebrating life. We are celebrating the moment. We are celebrating connection. We are celebrating this good conversation that we are have. And I have to remind you that you need to save the date for Sunday, October 20th, from 2 to 5 p.m. at Bartram's Garden. We are going to be having an incredible interactive conversation about environmentalism and how it impacts our daily lives and exactly what you, as part of our community, can help support and do about it. We have so many amazing presenters coming through. We have Janine Kayembe, who's the founder of Life Do Grow Farm. We have Zuline Mayfield, who is the Chester City environmentalist activist. We have Joanne Douglas, who is the Youth River Program Manager at Bartram's Garden. And we have an incredibly special presentation coming through from the ill-fated natives, as well as John Francis, who is the author of Planet Walker and The Ragged Edge of Silence. So you're not just going to get these amazing talks, but you can also find out about job opportunities as a part of our livelihood, job, and resource fair. Some of the companies that are going to be on site are Serenity Solar, Brown's ShopRite, Clean Water Action, Pennsylvania Horticulture Society, and more. Additionally, we are going to debut, which you guys got to come and see these photos. Oh my God, amazing. We're going to debut Wasted, which is our EcoWord photo exhibit by Zamani Feelings, looking at the trash crisis in our city. We're going to have a healing drum circle by Music Over Matter with a special tribute to breast cancer survivors, since October is the month for breast cancer awareness. Come out next Sunday, October 20th from 2 to 5 p.m. at Bartram's Garden and learn how our community is uniquely impacted by climate change, both locally, regionally, and nationally. The EcoWord Environmental Justice Summit is supported by the Wyncote Foundation and Broken Philly, a project of Resolve Philadelphia. You can very easily RSVP today at WURDradio.com or give us a call at 215-425-7875. And I'm going to be there. So just, if nothing else, no, I'm just kidding. So many good people coming through, but make sure that you come through. I definitely will be in the building on October 20th, and I'm excited to connect and to share with y'all. It's going to be such a good time. And you already know it's always a good time when you come out and get together with Word Family. So mark your calendars for Sunday, October 20th, 2 to 5 p.m. at Bartram's Garden. So, Cha-Cha, welcome back to the show.
Hey. When you were reading that list, I'm like, ooh, Zamani Feelings, I'm a fan.
Yes.
Ooh, ill-fated natives, I'm a fan.
Yes, exactly.
So,
that's exactly where it's at. Yeah, you got to come through. 100% free event. It's going to be so good. And the talks are kind of like TED Talks talks.
Okay.
So they're like short conversations, and then we're doing this incredible Q&A afterwards. And then you'll get an opportunity to interact with the folks coming. You'll get to walk around her exhibit. It's going to be so nice. So yes, you definitely have to come through. And speaking of connection and collaboration, right? We were just talking about your space at Macon North, where you invite folks to come and tour. And I just want to say, as we've been talking, I know folks are listening in and they're like, wow, this is really cool. Like, who is this Cha-Cha girl? I didn't know nothing about her before now. And they're getting really excited, getting really inspired, and wanting to be like, well, I'm going to bring my fabric and come on over to the social club and hang out and sell some things. And I think that's incredibly great. And so I want to give you an opportunity to kind of share some, kind of tips or suggestions or even words of encouragement or advice that you might have, both for people who are getting started in sewing, right? And maybe have never had that experience before, or they're getting back into it. And also a bit broader for entrepreneurs and suggestions that you have about kind of taking risks and stepping out there and utilizing the resources that we have around us.
Okay, so I want to talk about fear. A lot of people that I talk to have a fear of sewing, a fear of starting their business, a fear of asking for help. It's just fear. Like, a lot of people have this fear, and it's really for no reason at all. A lot of people want to work on different projects, but they're really nervous about, messing up fabric or not doing it right the first time. This is what I tell them. So if you're starting off sewing, you don't know exactly what you want to do, either you can contact me. We can set up some sewing classes. You can take a course, or go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and see what they have to offer. A lot of my students say that it helps them to an extent because they assume that you know certain information. They omit it from their videos. So just go there, see what you can learn. Also, don't be afraid to mess up fabric. Go to the store, get some $1 a yard fabric, $2 a yard fabric, and play around with it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? If you mess up, end up using it as a head wrap or do something else with it. You don't have to actually use it for the purpose that it was meant for. Other people that I want to talk to, not just the people that's just getting into sewing, but the people who are already sewing, who are not quite established or don't really know what their abilities are, I say push forward. What I like to do is, and I learned this being in a program called Summer Founders, it's a business program, is don't try to address the problem initially. You want to talk to your customers and see what they think the problem is. Once you see what they think the problem is, or the issues that they've been having, then you create a solution around that. So you need to talk to your customers, who you think would be your customers for your clothing line or your shoe line or whatever it is that you're going to be producing, and you need to figure out what your customers are having issues with. What is the market not fulfilling right now, and what could you do? What could be your niche in this market so that you're able to make money? So you're asking your customers basically to help you build your business, and that's the best way to do it. So I would say reach out to customers. Don't be fearful. You don't want to be so afraid of pursuing your dreams that you never end up pursuing your dreams. And a lot of women that I come in contact with, they may be in their 40s or 50s or 60s. I actually have a member right now at the Social Cafe. She's in her 70s. She just retired from the Social Security office. And she decided now that this was the time that she wanted to start creating and start sewing. But it's never too late. It's never too late for you, but why not start now? So that's what I want to tell everybody. Start now. Be resilient. Don't be fearful. You can do it. I promise you can do it.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Yes, you can do it. And going into Friday, where people tend to kind of like putter around the house and do those weekend projects, is a perfect opportunity to pick up some of the habits that you really love, some activities that you really enjoy that are de-stressors, that also help bring you joy and also ignite that innovation and that creativity within by doing something very simple. And maybe for you, it might be sewing. So
it may be sewing. Take that sewing machine out of the attic, out of the garage, the closet, the basement, the shed. Take it out
and see what you might be able to do.
Or come see us on Sunday. We'll be there.
I love it. I love it so much. I have to thank you so much for coming through this morning, Cha-Cha.
Thank you.
What a blessing.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
So today we spoke with Cha-Cha Hudson, who is in fact an international fashion designer, and she also is the creator of the co-working space, the Social Cafe, right here in Philadelphia. So I want to encourage you to reach out and connect, right? So go to the website as well as stop by the space even and see what's possible. You never know how it might expand your network. And even if you're not into sewing, right? Maybe you have a niece or a nephew or a young person or your child, or, you know, a godchild, or even just, you know, a friend of yours that's interested in it. It's usually one of two things. Either you're interested in that information or you know somebody who is. So this is how we grow and build our community, is by sharing with one another. The other thing I want to suggest for you is, even if you're not into sewing, right, this conversation is so relevant to everyone's life, because we talked about taking risks and getting rid of fear. And let me just tell you, everybody is dealing with that. We are all figuring out ways to become more resilient and to step out a little bit outside of our comfort zone and to do things a little bit differently and to find our way back to ourselves. And the best way to do that is to step outside, right? You got to step up, step out, and step in. And the best thing that I can recommend for you today is find an opportunity where you would normally shrink back, where you wouldn't speak up, or maybe you would just walk away unsatisfied, or maybe you would just try to ignore it, but really it might bother you, and respond differently. All right? It could be very, very big. It could be very, very small. But the truth of the matter is that these are those little baby steps that we take that kind of get us started on our journeys. And risk-taking, both small and big, is exactly how we continue to live that most absolute best life that we possibly can. So be encouraged today, be uplifted today, be inspired today, be motivated today to be your very best you, to do it in the way that makes sense for you, and to do it in a way that is a lot of fun. So remember, you can always connect with me on Instagram at Hello Helana. That's HelloHelanah. And I'm looking forward to seeing you very, very soon. And remember what I tell you each and every single day. No matter who or what comes your way, the love, the joy, and the peace that you seek lives inside of you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, my beautiful, beautiful people. An incredible weekend, and I will see you on Monday morning.
Word family, this is Sarah Lomax Reese, President and CEO of Word Radio. Join me on Friday, November 1st from 5:30 to 7 p.m. for the next installment of the Walter P. Lomax Jr. MD Speaker Series, Struggle and Progress, a conversation on Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman. I'm excited to interview two of the leading scholars on Douglass and Tubman, Dr. C. James Trotman, founding director of the Frederick Douglass Institute, and Dr. Erica Armstrong Dunbar, author of She Came to Slay, The Life and Times of Harriet Tubman. This powerful discussion will be held at the Barnes Foundation as part of their First Friday festivities and will precede the premiere of Ruth Naomi Floyd's Frederick Douglass Jazz Works, a suite of music created to honor the legacy of the famed activist and abolitionist. You do not want to miss this amazing event, which happens to fall on the same day as the release of the new Harriet Tubman movie. Space is limited. For ticket information, go to wordradio.com